Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Tainted Grail. I've turned off the copyright music tracks in the options menu, so hopefully that should no longer be a problem. If any of you are wondering, the option is here. We're going to speak to Beatrice here. Again, unusual spelling, because we have some flowers for her, and her husband is in a cage for biting one of the guards.
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be.
Has something happened?
So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole, but you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole, but now we're all at the mercy of those damned keepers.
Really, that's interesting. Tell me more about the situation. What happened?
One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice.
She appears to be talking out the side of her mouth, which is interesting. What happened next?
Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards.
I mean, the walls and the roof would help keep the wind off him, and the sea air. When did Cole start feeling worse?
This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. The locals call it the Arch Spire. In the morning, we realised everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each of us. Cole started acting weird after that, and in time, it only got worse.
Did he tell you what his dream was about?
No, only that, well, it didn't make much sense, but he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused his fever, his insanity.
What was your dream about?
I was in a strange place. Dark. Full of fog. Eerie. I was trying to find him. I called out, but no one answered. I was alone in the night, and then I kept falling, and falling, and falling. And then I woke up.
Can you describe how the evening went before the night you had that dream?
Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Fran brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night and the weirdness. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats.
Where was your camp?
We set up camp near the Arch Spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that, Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
Quite. Such as your subtitle saying Arch-Sipper instead of Arch-Spire. By the way, while I'm here, what brought you here?
Oh, right. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Beatrice. As for me and Cole, well, we left Ree hoping to find a quiet place to rest for a bit.
We planned to travel the King's Road toward Camelot. Well, here we are. We found our bloody Camelot. Cole is locked up and all I can do is shed bitter tears.
You say you're from somewhere called Ree?
Yeah, we grew up there. The village was built around a trade route. My parents ran a tavern that stood right by the road.
We had a good life. We lacked for nothing. Well, that was before the damned grubwood started spitting out monsters.
Then more and more caravans disappeared into the forest. People were telling stories that grew more horrifying by the day. In the end, taking that route meant certain death.
What happened to the tavern?
Same thing that will happen to every place on this god-forsaken island. Ruin. We used to have generous clientele. Merchants and emissaries from all over Avalon. They had deep pockets, always left lots of gold. But that changed. Then our only income came from the villagers, who were getting drunker and poorer by the day.
So you decided you had to leave.
That was always our plan. Cole and I never wanted to stay there forever. Beatrice and Cole from the village of Ree, that wasn't us.
But your parents stayed behind then?
Yeah. I doubt I'll ever see him again. I don't think there's anything worth going back for.
Speaking of which, our only option is to go back. When did you arrive here?
2 or 3 weeks ago. Things were starting to get difficult. The supplies we brought with us were running low. A larger group of people is always helpful. There's always someone to talk to and share the work with. But it also means more mouths to feed and more worries to deal with. It's not easy.
What about the others from your group?
Each of us has a different story. Some wanted to seek their fortune elsewhere, like me and Cole. Some had to flee their homes because of bandits pillaging their villages, or because of the wyrdness. Ree could be one of those places by now. There's so much turmoil in this world. People can suddenly lose themselves, becoming a danger to those they once loved.
So what did you want to do after leaving your village?
Interesting thing about our wealthy guests was never their story. More often than not, they were boring people who loved talking about boring things. They thought gold makes everything more exciting.
But what I found interesting were the fabrics that made up the clothes they wore. Their origin and composition. The meticulous work of the weavers who turned a piece of fabric into something precious.
I wanted to go to Timberwall, to become an apprentice in one of their guilds.
And Cole? What did he want?
Cole just wanted to get the hell out of there. He never saw a future for himself in Ree. Though I'm not sure he saw one anywhere else either. But he wanted to try. I don't know what I'll do without him. Any hope I had for a better life died with my husband.
So he's not her husband, or she thinks he's already dead? Why don't you tell me about your relationship? Sounds like the two of you were close.
Well, it wasn't a love match. I never wanted a husband, and Cole never wanted me. But we always got along. And we had a common goal. He was a good man.
Trust me, When I said that my hope for a better life died with him, I wasn't just some young widow being dramatic. I really meant it.
We always supported each other. He was my friend first, and my husband second.
Well, one of the keepers gave me these flowers. He said it was a gesture of solidarity with your group.
What? What? How dare you? Do you know the meaning of those flowers in that configuration?
No, I am aware that there's supposedly a complex meaning. So a bouquet of flowers is never just a bouquet of flowers, and the composition, the colours, the different kinds of flowers, the different breeds or genus or species, whatever you call them, they all mean something. Can't you just consider it a nice gesture? Maybe it was a mistake?
Revenge. Revenge, deception, and death. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just an idiot. But trust me, it's not a nice gesture.
I see. If I knew what they meant, I wouldn't have given them to you.
Thank you. For them, you are from nowhere, just like me. That's why I believe you. Take those flowers away, burn them, throw them in a cauldron, whatever. I don't want to look at them.
I see.
Be careful
now,
out there.
It's my distinct suspicion that if we take the supernatural element out of this, then I would suspect the guards goaded him into a fight, maybe put something in his food to drive him mad, wound him up so they could stick him in a cage and separate him from his wife so one of them could be with her. That's as may be. Oh, and we're running again. Well, the man in the inn wanted us to speak to his old drinking friends and see why they don't drink together anymore. I could do that now, but instead, I shall return back up to the keep. Because if I try to do everything in one sort of optimal pass, I'll rapidly run out of things to do while exploring the surrounding area. There is a path up here, which we shall explore at some point, but now is not the time. We'll go that way at another point. For now, we shall return to the guard up here. Let him know we were able to take the medicine to his father. And I think I've got a few plans. Now, for now, at this point, we're low level, we're not very effective, we're exploring, we're getting a feel for the area we are in. This whole situation feels very tense. We've got the refugees who've been driven here by horrific circumstances, some of them more than others. Some of them are criminals, I think there might even be a murderer. Your father told me, it seems the two of you are in conflict. Your father told me a story about his friends who died on a mission.
He told that tale about the tunnels more times than I can count. To anyone who'll listen. But these days, it seems nobody does anymore. I've heard it plenty of times already, believe me. To him, those old friends of his were everything. They meant more than his own son, that's for sure. He'd go on and on about it. If I'd been there, if I'd gone with him, he won't let it go. Sometimes I think that if Fergus had let him go into those tunnels and meet the same end as his brothers, he might have found his peace. Or at least quit drinking.
You know, it seems the two of you don't get on that well.
It's no secret. He's just an old, bitter man who hates the entire world. And I'm a part of it, so, well, it is what it is. That's all. See you
I see.
around.
Well, we can at least return to the bald young guard. Let him know we've recovered his letter. The one that he thinks is documents with the captain's seal on, but the captain didn't stamp it on those documents. It seems to be more of a personal letter, however. And the barkeeper says this man is already dead and has been for some years now. It also seems the tavern does not have the name the guard keeper remembers it by. What was that? We saw some kind of large bird fly over us at one point, and we've seen it on some load screens. It does appear to be very big. Now here is a chopping block with logs that we can chop up if we get a suitable axe to do so. We need 50 wood to mend the dock. So we should probably make a start on that at some point. There's a bit of an issue with that, being that we also want to start crafting to make ourselves some better equipment. And the majority of the early, easier crafting recipes all require wood.
You're back! Hi!
Indeed, Sigibald. I've got the documents. You were right, there were no problems.
I told you, Ron is a good guy. And here's a little something for you. You know I pay well.
To be honest, Ron was a bit confused.
Yes? What's the matter, my friend?
Well, he says you're dead.
You're really good at this today. Wait. Oh, you're serious. I understand. For so many years, I've been afraid to open this letter. But it looks like I needed to read it. Well, it is what it is, right? And I've been wondering why no one wants to talk to me. I thought to myself, are they mad at me or what? But why are you talking to me? How can you see me?
I have a passenger inside me who must have wanted to help.
Anyway, may the All-Mother bless your path. See you next time.
Right. He's given us some eerie incense which will increase our armor value. But let's talk to him again. Did you like your time as a keeper?
Oh, yes. Great place, great people. And before I became a keeper, let me put it this way. I've done a lot more for a lot less. Here, you can always have a meal and some kind of shelter above your head. And that's something, isn't it? Sure, you can make more gold as a leader, but that comes with much more responsibility, my friend.
Is there anything worth seeing here?
Not exactly. You've already been to Ron's tavern, so you've seen one. But since we're mates now, I suppose I can tell you about something. Listen closely. A few of us had a little gambling ring. Not to brag, but I was quite good at it. The winnings aren't much use to me anymore, so if you're interested, I'll tell you where I stashed them. Here. Just mind the waves.
Who else did you play with?
Ern, Armand, and Richt. Haven't seen them in a long while, so I've no clue what they're up to now. But I'd wager they've got their own stashes hidden somewhere too. Cunning bastards. Take
I
care
see.
out there. Keep your wits about you.
So we have a new quest called Sigi always wins. And we can collect some of these arrows for our quiver. So we can probably go down to the beach and dig up his treasure at some point. Let's speak to this chap who gave us the flowers. Dickon. You know, Beatrice wasn't very happy with the flowers you sent her.
So the bitch understood the meaning, yes? I'm glad. They should all be scared shitless. Even more so after Cole got what he deserved.
Was that what you had planned from the beginning, when you lot antagonized them?
Congratulations on your powers of observation. Those vagrants should know that since they live on our dime, they also live by our mercy. I can do anything to them, and they can't do shit. My plan was perfect.
You know, that's pretty despicable of you. You're abusing your position of power.
It's necessary. And I don't have to explain myself to you. You're from nowhere. So, you're nobody. Become a keeper, and you'll have the right to punch me in the face. But, as it is, you'd only get thrown in jail for starting a fight with a keeper. The refugees are a tumour on the healthy body of the Horns of the South. Remember this, and make wise decisions.
I'll remember you, Dickon. Not necessarily fondly either. Now, there's a chap over there we can speak to. Let's do that.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer.
Oh, why do you say that?
I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrid to get it pulled out.
It sounds pretty painful. I wouldn't want to do that either, unless I had to.
That, and I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my mouth. Don't get me wrong, Osbrid's a decent blacksmith, but he's no good with teeth. With one lad, it took him 3 tries before he got the right one. I'll stick to my grandma's potion for toothache. Or I would, if Heber would stop being such a dick and make it for me.
Why can't you make it yourself?
Heber took the recipe from me. And even if I had the recipe, I'm no good at mixing that stuff.
Said if I don't know how to make it, I shouldn't have it. And that he doesn't want some questionable homebrew medicine spreading through the keep.
How many people have bad teeth? Why doesn't the medic want to make it?
He says it's no good. Says that if I don't get the tooth pulled out, it'll keep hurting. I told him that's why I need the remedy, to make it stop hurting. But it's like talking to a brick wall.
Well, I'll talk to him for you.
You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter.
We'll see. Ideally, you want to stop whatever's causing the pain, rather than just trying to hide the pain itself. Let's come speak to Jan Heber here. If we can get an angle.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy.
All the refugees... wait. Yeah. All the refugees shared a dream. Do you know why that could have happened?
What do you think? Do I look like a mystic to you? A shaman? A village witch? I don't think so. Otherwise, I'd have a lot more to worry about. If you're looking for answers about things like this, you should consult the literature on the subject. though I can't say I'd recommend it.
I see. What exactly are you doing here?
Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out.
Funny you should mention that. There's a keeper with toothache complaining that you don't want to help him.
Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting.
You're a physician. Shouldn't you ease his suffering?
He's not dying. He has a toothache, for crying out loud. A physician's duty is to treat an illness, not its symptoms. Of course, I could give him something to ease the pain, but there's no point if he doesn't get rid of the underlying cause.
He said something about a remedy.
Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already.
Why would it cause problems?
Times in the keep are tough. Everyone is either bored or restless. Honestly, the last thing I need is people poisoning themselves with some unknown potion they don't even have the qualifications to make.
Could I have the recipe?
No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients.
Oh, what kind of potential ingredients?
Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this.
So if I combine moonshine, carnation and sage, I'll get the remedy, right?
What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me.
Understood. Let's just walk over here. We need 2 more carnations. So be it. Dear Mr. Heber, what might you have for sale? Oh, carnations. Excellent. We'll have 2, please. Oh, for money. Right. And now we'll indulge in a little alchemy. Let's make the special toothache remedy. And now, because improving skills gives us experience points, and it might... Yeah, we should definitely indulge. Especially as we can make some nice healing potions. Oh, and we have plenty of booze so we can keep on going. Get that experience towards level 4. Right. Now what we need? Fish oil. We need lots of fish. Mana potions. More alcohol. So we're going to need to get some more booze at some point. We can probably buy it here. But we did get some nice experience points towards our next level. Bearing in mind we've already got enough for 1 level as it is. And we're running again because we've gone through another
you're
era
back.
transition.
How's the remedy?
Well, look, it's finished. Here you go.
Thank you. I'll finally be able to eat something.
Here, take this as my thanks for your help.
Oh, small health potion. Menhir figurine. So 2 small health potions. Of 3 small health potions of varying quality, or are those the ones I made? 4 might be the ones I made. And a Menhir figurine, which is what I suspect he gave us. Eerie incense. Menhir figurine plus 5 maximum health permanently. Since there's no level scaling on that at all, we should probably just use that right away. Now, what have we here? I see in darkness, investigating the dream. Sigurbold always wins. I should definitely investigate that at some point, because that's easy. What do we got here? Okay, we can just mark those off. Available to rest, sure. Let's come back and see Fergus briefly. I spoke with Beatrice. Her husband is locked in a cage in the village.
I knew we'd have to deal with this sooner or later. Time isn't exactly on our side. Mahone's condition worsens with each passing night. It's hard for me to admit, but nobody, including myself, really knows what's going on. Maybe a fresh perspective is exactly what we need. If you find any clues, follow them. I'm only interested in the details, and ideally, the solutions.
Where can we find Mahone? Story behind the flooded village. I should probably ask about these things. Shouldn't mention that subject whatsoever. Not going to mention this until considerably later. But for now, what we are going to do, while the sun is still in the sky, is, I think, go down to see Orla and purchase a wood chopping axe for, I believe, 16 coins. Then we'll go cut some wood and dig up some treasure on the beach in the village. We might want to see if we can cook any food while we're at it. Right. Just trading for now. This sketchbook intrigues me. Allows sketching. Oh wait, yeah, I'm just buying this. Do I have anything I can reasonably sell? Need 2 strength for this. 2 dexterity for that. I don't need bloodstained shirts. And I don't think Gwyn's going to go dressing up in a dress. And let's avoid sort of ragged low quality gear. Red Priest bracelets, that's going to be a better armor value. Should probably equip those. Worn out, ragged, ragged. Those match our current boots, so I'll sell those as well. And I will give myself a minor armor upgrade. Not that it'll make a significant difference cosmetically yet, but that's okay. I will equip my short bow. We got wooden arrows. They seem to have arrowheads. I don't want to go around questioning people with a weapon. Perhaps I'll take a little stroll outside before I go chop some wood and go down to the beach. And once outside, I think I'll practice running because it gives me some experience. Now, I do have some prior experience with earlier versions of Early Access. However, things have changed significantly. Over here, this path led to a building on the edge of the cliff with 3 zombie-like undead in it. And here is some kind of heavily armoured knight called Abigor, sitting by a lantern. We'll leave him there for now. Come talk to him later. Esgar the Protector, devoted guardian of Prophet Kai. Esgar battled the scourge of the Red Death, aiding in the founding of the Red Church and the island asylum. His dedication saved countless lives during a time of despair. May his memory be praised and never forgotten. And we get a level of one-handed weapon skill. Excellent. Now, here we have a buried box. Let's dig it up a bit. Bottle of wine. And here, a locked chest. Well, we have lockpicks, so let's explore. No. There we go. Some money, cider, 5 fire arrows, and a iron mace. Now, that needs 2 strength. But it's better than trying to make one ourselves. So we got a freebie. So we got 2 weapons that need 2 strength. 13 stamina points a swing, 10 stamina points a swing, and possibly a faster weapon speed, which would explain the higher price in theory. While we can venture down this path, there's a dead body here with an elixir of mana. There's a dead body that's standing there wearing some kind of protective armor. It might be wise not to engage just yet. So if we just look at the map quickly, I have knowledge of the sunken village here from past playthrough, but again, yeah, things might have changed. I've explored out to here reasonably, I believe. No, out to about there, maybe. And some of this area here many, many moons ago. More recently, with the alternate save character, I have explored this area a bit, but not really much else. Let's practice our running skills some more. Oh, wait, actually. No, yes. I see a man there. He looks like he would want to fight me. And I wouldn't mind fighting him, but perhaps I should indulge in leveling up first, since I have the experience points to do so. There we go. And perhaps Arthur can speak about the statue we met out there as well. Apparently not. Well then. We desperately want a point of strength for numerous pieces of equipment. However, practicality can also help us with crafting things quite a bit. And we're near to the next level, so if we take this... No, let's take the strength point after all. So we've got strength and endurance. If I mirror ever so slightly here, we got a point in practicality, so I should put a point in there at some point. And what bothers me about this armor tree is that it seems to be focused heavily on making our armor lighter, and the armor upgrades we can perform at the blacksmiths also make our armor lighter. which is weird. Because obviously we want to pile on the heaviest armor to be working and protect ourselves most effectively. But this seems to be about reducing armor load from heavy to medium to light to then benefit from our lighter armor skills and possibly better armor values than if they were heavier, which is weird. So, under shields, wielding shields increases melee damage by 10%. That it would be a big flat bonus. We could definitely do with that. We get 5% increase to health. 7 stamina. It's not a percentage, it's just flat 7. Taking damage instantly restores 2% of maximum stamina. That could be very useful. When you have full stamina, fully restored stamina. Recovering from overexertion is 50% faster. Could be very good. Killing enemy also instantly restores stamina. 10% less damage when overexerted. Staggering enemy restores 20. But we stagger by parrying, which is virtually impossible. We can extend the parry window, but I don't think I've successfully done it with a shield once. Blocked? Yes. Parried? No. Speaking of which, parrying of a shield, block drains 10% less stamina. Block your shield has a 100% chance to reflect that. So this is all good stuff, right? We like this stuff. I think I will take this. Now, future, we want to get basic mercantile skills and a strength-like weapon skill. So there we go. We have finished leveling up. And now we can replace this broken club with a short sword or mace. Honestly, liking the damage on the mace significantly. So I got to ask myself how that 13 stamina points. I could try the sword. That is pretty long for a short sword, in all honesty. You'd expect a shorter sword to be about this long, maybe. That's more of a full-on sword, to be honest. I do like the mace, though. The mace is nice. The mace deals more damage, costs a little more stamina, so why is the mace so much cheaper than the sword? Is it also the weight? Does the weight help us get towards the medium armor category? I clicked that for a reason, and I know exactly why. We can put our hood on in case it starts raining when we go down to the beach. We're now on medium armor territory, so we can expect our medium armor skill to begin to increase. Would be nice to get up to that heavy armor skill, but again, general strength might have something. No. Endurance. It's probably just practicality. Making the armor lighter, reducing the armor thresholds, and also with blacksmiths we can reduce the weight of armor. Odd. Feels very odd. Let's +2, +1, plus nothing. Weak. Sure, let's go for weaker ones first, right? And here we have food. Excellent. Would be nice to replace some of this lot. It's gonna take us a while. Again, we don't want to go threatening people, but we do want to chop wood and head down to the beach to dig up Sigibold's personal stash from his years of gambling before he sadly passed on. What do we have that we could... wait. 33, not much. But let's look at our crafting options anyway, shall we? 72%, 0.6% chance of just broken item, wasted time, don't make your gloves. Okay, and we'll need the ingredients to be able to see the crafting chances of all these things, but for now, wooden arrow made from 10 broken arrows, and the book the blacksmith has, which will teach us the other arrow recipes. We have upgrade, which makes armor better, armor weight reduction, to make armor less heavy. Why would we want to make it less heavy if we want to benefit from heavy armor skills? That feels very, very, very odd. Very odd indeed. Now, I should not chop the wood now, in case the hour grows late. The shade of Sigibald watches over the training grounds there. He doesn't seem that bothered. Seems pretty happy, all things considered. Let's run, however, as time is of the essence. We are going to practice running downstairs. Not something that's generally to be advised. Generally you want to go slower downhill to avoid taking a tumble. Ah yes, it is growing later. And we'd like to do this before things get too weird out there in the weirdness. Because Keeper Sigi's stash is just over this way a bit. He did say mind the waves. So far, so good. And now we'll look for a spot where something might be buried. Oh look! And again, please. We got 113 gold, a mana potion, a golden ring, silver goblet, knife +4, and a keeper's cape. Requires, right, the keeper's cape, no armor yet. Increases incoming healing by 20%. Requires 4 endurance. This item's effect won't work until you reach its requirements. Well then. 4 endurance is good. We like 4 endurance. We might even have other things that will work well with that. That's not so good. Okay. With 146 gold, though, we should be able to purchase some new crafting recipes. Now, something else I will say I've noticed is that the wood on the chopping block replenishes. It doesn't fully replenish in a day. It might take 2 or 3 days to replenish. But there's enough to get a few wood each day, so in terms of attempting to get 50 wood for the docks, we could do that over the course of a few days adventuring. Furthermore, this appears to be armed. It is... who are you? You're not talking at all. Okay. Looks like Patrice is leaving her husband for the night and taking a walk up to the portion of the village where many of the refugees stay. We will probably need to go and speak to some of them at some point, but not just yet. For now, we intend to chop some wood and get some rest. Maybe even try our hand at crafting something. perhaps a few arrows. It would be nice to try and rush for 50 wood to mend the dock. But, in all honesty, grinding our crafting skill a bit to get to the next levels faster will be helpful, because we'll be able to start making ourselves better equipment. Now, in theory, that means that our equipment would begin to outstrip our ability to use it. But in actuality, it's early days. We probably can't risk anything too dangerous just yet. So, you know, doing a few things to close the gap to the next level, probably not a bad idea. Hmm. Let's pick some more plants. And then chop some wood. Now, you'll notice as we chop wood that wood arranged around the chopping block begins to disappear and appear on it. Each of these is in 4 sections, very obviously, but apparently it's only split into half, and it's our job to split those halves into quarters, even though we can see the edges of the quarters already on the wood. However, we just got ourselves a nice hefty amount of wood there. Let's put our axe away so we're not menacing anyone. So we're now on, well, much wood. We got our wood cutting axe, fire arrows, mana potion, a golden ring worth 150 coins. Unfortunately, the merchants will not pay anywhere near that. But that's where our practicality score can come in. Silver goblet worth 100. Knife plus 4. Now, compared to our dagger, it looks like the white number is the base damage of a weapon, and the number in brackets is our total damage. So 6 to 8 for the dagger, the 8 being in red because, oh yeah, it's just 5 to 8 because it's lower than the woodcutting axe, but it also needs 2 dexterity, so it's not at full power yet. This on the other hand, 7 to 9, so better, but cheap, less valuable, so if we get that second point of dexterity, this may be better still. Interesting. Right, and 28 wood. We are more than halfway to crafting the mending the docks. I'm not sure where Mahone is resting. I do wonder if that's a Mahoney Police Academy reference. A Joker who gets himself into trouble a lot. Right. If we want to make anything, it might be best to wait till morning and buy the Book of Arrow Crafting from a blacksmith. I'm not going to try and risk that. And it would be nice to get the level to improve our crafting skill, but we might have to improve our crafting skill to get the level. Let's go get ourselves a good night's rest. Again, we don't know where the wounded keeper is. We still want to go to the museum soon. Oh, I just realised what I might end up calling this episode. Maybe I shouldn't call it that. I probably need to find a better title than Immigrant Problems. Sigi's treasure. There we go, we're nicely rested. We can head back outside and imagine the days when we will finally have better quality equipment. Something we could be proud to call armor. Let's see, Sigi's treasure. Tooth and treasure, treasure toothache. Sigi's treasure it probably will be. Right. So, that's a book. This is a really expensive book. Let us spend a lot of money on that book. And read it as well. The Art of Making Arrows, Volume 1, by author Avalon Bowman V. As Effiled. It's absurd, but the Guild of Journeymen insisted I write this for their systematized knowledge. Arrows are made, not written about. Still, here it is, the grand textbook on wooden and iron arrows. Since I'm wasting my time with parchment, let me stress the importance of proper fletching. Correctly sized feathers increase speed, reducing air resistance and boost penetration, which is essential for a deadlier shot. Heavier arrows require more abundant fletching. Take it from me, turkey feathers are perfect for any arrow type. Because they're big or readily available? I don't know. Turkeys? I'm sorry, this is supposed to be... I mean, turkeys are like New World. This is supposed to be Old World. Where did the turkeys come from? Maybe the wyrdness brought them here. Right. Let's make some wooden arrows. We can make 3 loads of wooden arrows, so let us do absolutely that. There we go. Looks like a lot of wooden arrows to make before we can make anything else. However, we can now make... where are we? Iron arrows and copper arrows when we get more feathers. And in terms of getting the requirements of this, is blue items. We probably want to focus on white items for crafting first and work our way up to the most expensive high value stuff. So if we take monetary value and the colour of the name as an indication of what will be easier to craft, also picking up a lot of ingredients will give us a good idea as well. But at this early stage, until we've improved our crafting skill, we want to be cautious and not waste it. 60 wooden arrows, that's pretty decent. Can we sell... Oh yeah, we can sell that for starters. Why is this still showing as equipped? Oh, that's why. Right, yeah. Because it's here. There we go. So these grey items are of particularly poor quality. That's got a grey background though and it's white. Interesting. We do want to be replacing our cracked shield when our skill is good enough. Hello there. Allow me to lighten my load by sharing some of my wonderful items with you. A villager's shirt, we can probably sell that soon. We can part with 1 pair of tattered boots. We're not selling this. 10 gold, that is dead cheap. We really need to... Yeah, well. let's see how much wood has come back for us. And pick a few plants again. There we go. So a fairly chill, mellow session, working my way around the keep. Not that I've necessarily been particularly chill or mellow. I've been a bit sort of on edge at times. Okay, nothing's come back yet. Maybe it's not a rest overnight and check in the morning, but a sort of 24 hours then check thing. Either way, the museum, I believe, is up there. And I think we'll be going in there in the next episode. Yeah, that seems nice, doesn't it? We can go see the museum keeper, which is something I was planning on squeezing into this one. But in terms of episode length, this is probably a good point to stop. Alright, in that case, I'm going to leave this episode here. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'll say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.